Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is truly my pleasure to welcome you to the official launch of the third edition of the International Business Conference IBC Guyana 2025, hosted under the theme Building Businesses for Regional Prosperity. Before we dive into our program today, allow me to take a moment to recognize members of the diplomatic corps, our featured speakers, members of the press and media, our partners at the Guyana Office for Invest, the business support organizations, industry leaders, friends, and private sector representatives. And to those of you, sorry, who are joining us via our online live stream, welcome and thank you for being with us here this afternoon. Today's launch marks not just the announcement of yet another conference, but rather it is a continued commitment towards building a platform where ideas become actions and partnerships becomes prosperity. We'd like to kick off today's program by inviting someone who has not only supported this platform in principle, but has also championed it in practice. Special thanks to her today that she has opened the doors for the embassy for the launch to be kickstarted here today. Her Excellency Ambassador Lizelle Blankendal, Ambassador of the Republic of Suriname to Guyana, and honorary member of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce, has consistently used her office to strengthen commercial diplomacy and deepen bilateral economic engagement across both Suriname and Guyana. With that in mind, please welcome Ambassador Lizelle Blankendal for brief remarks.
Thank you very much, Raul. Board members of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Peter Ramsaruk, CEO Boinvest, members of the business community, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the media, a pleasant good afternoon. It is a real pleasure to welcome you all at the Surinamese Embassy. It's a little bit hot, please bear with us as we officially launch the International Business Conference. This event has growing in importance every year, bringing people together to share ideas and build stronger business ties. This October, the conference returns to Georgetown, Guyana for its third edition with the theme Bridging Businesses for Regional Prosperity. It's a powerful theme that speaks to what we are doing, connecting businesses across borders to help grow our region. My colleagues from the Diplomatic Corps can attest. As an embassy, part of our job is to help build economies. We help bring people together, support trade, and encourage investment. So, hosting this launch shows our shared goal to strengthen cooperation and build economic partnerships between Suriname, Guyana, and beyond. Guyana is going through big changes, and Suriname is also moving towards economic transformation. That is why this conference is so timely. It will bring together business leaders, investors, policymakers, not just from our two countries, but from across the region and the world. Tonight, or today, now, as we gather here, let us remember the future of our countries depends on the connections we make and the ideas we share. As ambassador, I'm proud to see how diplomacy, business, and innovation are coming together to make a real difference. The IBC shows the growing partnership between Suriname, also Guyana, two neighbors working side by side, opening up to the world and building stronger, a more diverse economy. From oil and gas to agriculture, tourism, innovation, infrastructure, the possibilities are very wide. And the moment is now. I'd like to thank the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce and all their partners for making this possible. Your hard work is helping promote our countries as existing places for investment and, of course, collaboration. So I encourage you all to be part of this conference in October. It promises to be an event full of opportunities and vision. Let's work together to build bridges that will shape the future of our region. I thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. It is my honor to now introduce a dynamic force in Caribbean business leadership and education. Dr. Vishnu Durga is the chairman of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce and also the chairman of Action Invest Caribbean, one of the principal organizing partners of the International Business Conference. Dr. Durga has been at the forefront of this initiative since its inception. Today, he will reflect on the evolution of the IBC platform, the successes of past editions, and he will officially launch the much anticipated Trade Expo component of IBC Guyana 2025. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Vishnu Durga.
Thank you very much, Raul, and I would just like to also for you to also acknowledge the persons in the room, the work that the Chamber Secretariat has done under the leadership of Raul. We have Saudia as well, who manages our Guyana office, and also Minushi, who manages our Suriname office. And in just over a year, the impact that this very young team, it always sounds good, when I get that credit, but I put maybe an hour per week into the organization. It's really fantastic that a group of 20-year-olds are able to make the impact that they are making. And please put your hands together for them. I'm really very proud of the efforts that they're making. And also, it's good that I may have been able to get something started together with the help from Lisel when it comes to the chamber and the events. But it will take a lot of very young, talented Guyanese, Surinamese, and youngsters in general to move our vision along. So happy that that is happening. So Ambassador Lisel Blancanel, thanks again for opening up the embassy here to us. I think it's a good sign of everything that is yet to come. Very recently, we had a blood drive as well. We were able to collect almost 30 units of blood right here at the embassy. And again, that's the type of activity that we really want to have a lot more collaboration on. Dr. Peter Ramsroop, of course, as the head of the Guyana Office for Investment, when we, as a business community, decided to form the chamber as well, it was just about 8 companies that got the chamber started, and the intent was very clear. The intent was that we want to grow our businesses, because if our businesses aren't growing, they're dying. It's like nothing. It's very hard to stay stagnant. I'd encourage you to sit on a bicycle and just stay there. If you're not moving forward, you're falling down. So these companies that got it started and very quickly influenced a lot of other companies moving in the 20s and then over 100 members. It was when they intend to grow their businesses, but we must always remember that when businesses grow, we employ more people. The businesses don't just exist on their own. We all employ more people. As the market gets more competitive, we also pay our people better, we train them better, we have to get more productive. We also thereby make our profits, and that is what we made these investments for. And when we make our profits, of course, that's where governments get their corporate taxes, their employment taxes, and that's what they use to develop the country. So we're all very closely linked to each other. And it's important that we understand that, because sometimes we sit on opposite sides of the fence without making the progress that we can. And when we came up with this vision and we said, let us really take regional economic integration, let's take the responsibility for doing that, at least between Guyana and Suriname to get started with. We were very happy that when we presented the vision to both ministers initially in charge of trade, and then also the heads of the investment agencies. And Peter was one of our very earliest promoters of this level of effort that we're making. They said, well, that's fine. We'll do the heavy lifting, and they've been facilitating from day one, and they continue to facilitate. As you can see, The Chamber is the host of the event, but both the Guyana Office for Investment and the Suriname Investment and Trade Agency have been staunch partners from the beginning. One of the key things that really helps is with the amount of international delegates, and 50% of the delegates to the event are international delegates, non-Guyana, non-Suriname delegates. They want to meet the investment agencies. They want to see what the information is, what the opportunities are, what the incentives are. And that is a major role that, yes, we can talk to them from a private sector part. We can position ourselves as partners, suppliers, buyers. But they also want to know, well, what's the framework? And they want to talk directly to the investment agencies. And that's where we see our relationship working really well, and in that facilitative manner that we continue. We always talk of, but again, in this way, we've been able to see really strong collaboration. As we already mentioned, the Chamber, we did get started on August 31st, 2023. And our mission is to really ensure that relationship between both countries gets strengthened. We've now exceeded 100 members. We have about 40% from Guyana, 40% from Suriname, about 10% regional, and about 10% international. And our goal is to ensure that we continue to connect businesses. This Friday, we have another event where we're looking at financial literacy that allows businesses, members, and non-members to participate. And in Suriname, we've already had several such sessions. In August, we're looking at doing another one there and to really alternate it. And I must tell you that we've gotten really good support from the Suriname Embassy on this side and the Guyana Embassy on the other side as well. When it comes to the IBC, we are now heading into the third edition. We started off just thinking about doing a business conference to really get the information out there, get all the decision makers in the same place at the same time. But we've evolved to workshops and roundtables. People absolutely love the business matching component, where as soon as you're a delegate, you immediately get access to everyone else who will be there, including all the government agencies and business support organizations. So you can start making connections even before the event, and you can book meetings with each other at the event as well. And this year, we will actually allocate a lot more space for that. We started off with 10 tables in Guyana. And on the evening of the first day, we had to expand it, and we could fit 16 into the room. So much so that every time I turned to Facebook, I saw someone signing an agreement at the Marriott poolside or somewhere in the bar, or somewhere in the restaurant, because we just ran out of space. In Suriname, we had a very similar experience as well at the Azuria Event Center. And of course, our networking functions. We're very happy that in Guyana, on the first IBC, President Ali hosted us for a cocktail as well on the final evening, which really allowed for that networking that happens outside of the actual conference. And in Suriname as well, the government there, through CETA, also organized a very large cocktail that really allowed people to come together. And I am a conference buff. I love going to conferences. And I actually love going to conferences to be able to sit and attend the conference. But I do know that I have some colleagues who do most of their business at the cocktails. So we will ensure that we continue to have that as a key feature. Peter had encouraged us to really look at collaborations, collaborative products. And you'll be hearing a little bit later from Andrea about the first collaborative product we launched in Suriname, which is a tourism product. Peter doesn't sleep at night. I don't know what he keeps sending ideas. So he said, okay, we need more collaboration. So we're currently working on a beverage collaboration between the two giants in both countries. And you can see on the table there, we do have their individual products. So both DDL and SAB, which is the manufacturer of the Borgo rum in Suriname, are working on what is the combined product that could be made. And they're looking at if this can be done and how it could be done. It's very interesting to now see, their master blenders having to talk to each other. Some of you, I know, will take the opportunity to tell our barman that you can do the blend yourself this evening. You don't need their help, and you're free to practice out here. Please make sure that you have a designated driver. But it's going to be amazing to see what these master blenders come up with. And our goal is to be able to have it at the third IBC. And we continue to look for other collaborative projects. projects that we and products that we can bring to the table. We have, we're going to have in this particular event the same 3 days of business content, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. However, on the Tuesday, we are looking at including tours to specific sites. We do expect our Demerara Harbor Bridge, our new bridge, to be ready, and that can also be an experience by itself. But we've also seen the development in Region 3. And we also want, especially the international visitors, to be able to see what's happening in Region 3, because we don't just want them to come for the conference and be locked in Region 4. So that is one of the additional components that we'll be having at that particular time. There are a lot of reasons to attend. We do have some words from a couple of our sponsors and delegates a bit later in the program. Our goal is to make it better, and I'm very happy that it's business people, business support organizations, investment agencies that are the drivers behind this event, because we're creating it as if we were the delegates, as if we were the ones experiencing it. So kind of like we're creating it for ourselves. If we had a perfect event, what could it be like, and how do we keep adding and improving on that? The statistics have been fantastic. A lot of delegates from across the world. We continue to see, we already have so many delegates booked when normally the delegates really start booking in the last month of. We already have a long list of companies that have already started to secure their space. So we're very happy that they have the confidence in what we do. And of course, Raul did mention that this year we had very limited space in both previous years. So we had spaces for maybe 20 exhibitors. And we didn't really know if an exhibition was what the business community wanted. So that's why we focus heavy on the conference. And in both cases, the 20 spots that we had in Guyana and in Suriname are very quickly gone. So with the support of AHI, Atlantic Hotel Inc., the Guyana Office for Investment, we were able to also, and the Marriott, of course, the Guyana Marriott, which is our venue partner, we were able to secure the Marriott Annex, which is the area that is sometimes used for exhibitions as well, to be able to provide more space. So we actually have 50 exhibition spaces available in this particular IBC. If we do need it, you'll also see we've allocated a separate space for delegate lunches, because the last time around we used every square inch that the Marriott had for lunches, so people had to be spread in 3 different areas. We're looking at doing that in one space at this time, so it also provides for the flow through the exhibition area. And for any businesses in Guyana that are looking on, because again, the IBC is for companies locally and internationally ready to move to the next level. In Guyana, we have a lot of micro businesses and small businesses who may be interested in what is happening on the exhibition side. So we will open it up to B2B trade visitors. So if you're a business and you really wanted to learn more about the companies coming in, the companies exhibiting, that will be an opportunity as well that we're adding on in this particular edition of the IBC. There are a lot for those of you who may be interested in exhibiting as well. What we're going to be doing is not just the content that is going to be provided in the conference. People will also be able to have a lot of information at their own booth, talk to not just all the delegates, 600-700 delegates that we're aiming for, but also a couple of thousand of B2B visitors as well, to give them that platform. So that is what we really want to be able to bring to the table as well. So for anyone who is interested in one of those spots, please make sure that you reach out to us as early as possible, because most of the sponsors from last year have already indicated that the spots that they would like to have. We will have a separate area for the BSOs. As you would know, for what we did last year is we included every single BSO who wanted to collaborate, and we gave them space at no cost for them to display their organization, for them to have delegates as well. And of course, the Guyana Office for Investment and CITA both will have their own individual space where they are able to treat with investors who have questions. And I should say foreign, but also local, because it was very interesting, the amount of local investors talking to our investment agencies. So we also want to make sure that that happens. This year, what we also wanted to do, this has been something I've been toying with for a long time, is to really also bring professional business speakers because we have a lot of industry experts. If you look at both agendas, they're loaded with industry experts. What we really wanted to do is also bring international business speakers, the top quality international business speakers. And we already have our first one who has confirmed participating in the IBC, Kaplan Mowbray. He is originally, well, his parents are from Jamaica. He does a lot of touring across the Caribbean, across the entire world. Just came back from Argentina, and he's been hearing so much about Guyana. I attended one of his events in Las Vegas last October. And from the time I heard him present and the amount of, we were there, and it was more about leadership development and organizational excellence. And how do you brand that? How do you bring that to the market? I spoke to him at that event, and I said, if you ever get a chance to come to Guyana, I want to give back, because at the moment we don't have the speaking fees required to bring speakers like this. But speakers who have a connection to the Caribbean, want to do something for Guyana, we want to make that available. And Kaplan has agreed to come here, and he works for some of the largest organizations in the world. These are some of the topics. We will tailor it to really suit the IBC audience as well. Because very often we go to conferences and we walk past each other, or we're at the booth and we don't get the maximum out of the conference. The job that I want him to play on day one is to really work with us, add to what we have, so we get the maximum out of the conference. And you can see some of the big names. We're actually now working with some of his sponsors that have worked with him in the past, that are also in Guyana, like PwC, EY, to take a look at how they can get involved in having him here. This is a little bit from Kaplan. Maybe if I can get the volume up. Sadia, if you can raise the volume up as high as it goes. So he did prepare a video for us.
Hi, I'm Captain Mowbray, award-winning author, speaker, career consultant. I'm looking forward to coming to Guyana for the first time at the International Business Conference, where I'll share insights on how to grow your brand, to elevate your business, how to take excellence and make it a choice that drives our success, and how to become a leader that drives the excellence, that expands the opportunity for creating significance. It's great to be coming back to the Caribbean. It's great to celebrate Caribbean roots, but also to celebrate the powerful excellence that exists within each of you as we celebrate the opportunity to build the bridges to growth. So I'll see you very soon, Guyana. My name is Kaplan Mowbray, award-winning author, speaker, career consultant, and I'm coming to Guyana for the first time. I will see you very soon.
Very good. You can probably also give us a lesson in smiling. And it's an amazing experience, like, him playing on the saxophone as well in the presentation and tailoring it in. It's something that I had never experienced up to last year, October. We do have our eyes on another one or two, global professional business speakers. And if if those are able to confirm for this particular IBC as well, that would just be icing on the cake. So again, over the next 3 months, and we have a full 3 months between today and the upcoming IBC, you will see releases on a continuous basis. We have our principal partners that will be announcing soon, new sponsors that are coming on board, specialized speakers. So you'll see those announcements as we roll out over the next couple of months. And if you have any ideas, this event belongs to all of us. Please understand that this event is a Guyana Suriname event. It belongs to all of us. If you have an idea on how we can make this better, just do like Peter does. Send a message and say, I think this is the right thing to do. I think this will add value. And we will consider it. If we can't do it for the upcoming IBC, we'll figure out how to do it in whatever other format. For the international missions here, the reason we did call this the International Business Conference is that as two small nations, we're very attractive to the international business community, and we want to collaborate. We don't have enough people or capital to do all of this on our own, and we understand that. We do have a lot of resources. We're very strategically located, but we do understand that we need strong relationships with our international community, and for that, I want to really thank the missions and the embassies that have worked with us for the last 2 editions, and will continue to be that partner. Please invite your home country businesses as well to come during this period of time. And what many of the ambassadors and missions did is that they also hosted separate events outside on the sidelines of the IBC. This year, because we now have more space, we may actually be able to provide you with some space to do side conferences, side events at the event itself or at your own embassy. That's also a possibility. So with that said, there's a lot more that we'll be able to share. If I really put all of it, we'll be here for the rest of the night and the rum will get cold or warm. Yeah. So I want to make sure that we will release this to you over time so you can really let everything sink in, so you really know what we're bringing to the table. And we look forward to partnering with each and every one of you. I do want to thank a lot of the sponsors that have seen the vision from day one and really are also helping us to design this event to really meet not just their needs, but the needs of everyone who will attend. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Durga, for that compelling overview and for officially launching not just the expo component, but also the much anticipated beverage that we are waiting on. And you also reminded us that the platform has really grown over the last 2 years, and that's really because of the people that believed in it. It was not just in theory, but it is also in action. And with that belief, it is made possible by real support of pioneering partners and sponsors who would have backed the very first editions of IBC and, more importantly, are seeing results of that today. We now have the pleasure of hearing from a few of those companies, organizations who really stood with IBC from day one and whose success stories bring this platform's purpose to life. We begin with someone who has been with us from the very first edition of IBC, a respected private sector leader, a driving force in port and dry docking services, and also sits at the helm at the directorship of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce. He is the managing director of Guyana Port Inc. and a proud supporter of IBC. Please help me welcome Mr. Pretty Paul Singh Jr. to share a few reflections.
Thank you, Raul. Let me first begin by acknowledging Excellency Mr. Bankandal, CEO of Guyana Office for Investment, Dr. Peter Ramsroop, Chairman of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Vishnu Durga, other members of the Diplomatic Corps, esteemed business leaders. My name is Pretty Paul Singh Jr., as Rahul would have mentioned, and I am the Managing Director of Guyana Port Inc. and a proud member of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce from its inception, and also a sponsor of the International Business Conference. For those of you unfamiliar with Guyana Port Inc., we are a marine industrial company that is based in the Demerara River, and I'm happy to see that the bridge is going to be completed in a few months from now so that boats can get to my dock very easily. We specialize in ship repair, dredging, which is a previously launched service a few months ago, and also shipbuilding, with the mission to become a maritime hub for the Southern Caribbean and also Northern South America. We first joined IBC as a sponsor last year, and we're genuinely impressed. What we found was a platform filled with energy, actionable insights, and a strong spirit of regional collaboration. That experience solidified our commitment to return as a sponsor, and not just as a participant, but also as a partner and an enabler of growth. This year, we look forward to building strategic partnerships, especially cross-border ones, with our Surinamese neighbors, exploring investments in ports, infrastructure, and vessel services, and listening to how we can better serve the region's evolving needs. Becoming a member of the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce is a major step for us. We see it as more than just a chamber. It's a bridge between vision and execution, and a network that we're proud to be a part of. To the SGCC, thank you for the welcome. To the IBC organizers and fellow sponsors, thank you for the platform and all that you have done. Let's connect, collaborate, and help to shape the future of maritime in both regions. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the IBC.
Thank you, Sachi. Thank you, Pretty Paul St. Jr. Your support, both corporate and personal, especially for me, has been foundational to this journey, and we're proud to have Guyana Port Inc. as a supporting partner. Next, we have Mr. Sultan, who is the country manager for Elgawa. He is a true representation of a cross-border success story, a Surinamese company that has started operations in Guyana and is now making waves in electrical, gas, and water solutions. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sultan to the podium.
A special good afternoon to all of the distinguished guests, especially members of the panel. Dr. Durga, as my mentor, know I recently started Toastmasters, so what better forum to practice my impromptu speaking? As Rahul mentioned, my name is Sultan Dinul, and I am the country manager for Elgawa. Elgawa, we're an engineering company. We work in 3 divisions, which is electrical, gas, and water divisions. Last year for the IBC, we were an associate sponsor. This year, we look to strengthen that partnership. We look to be a better partner. Probably we will be the cooling and power partner. Ms. Davitri will help us with the finances on that. And maybe we can even help Madam Ambassador with the cooling here as well. So it's something we can look at. I'd just like to speak on 2 major ways in which the IBC really helped our company last year. First of all, it's brand recognition. I can say before the conference last year, Elgawa was not a company that was well known, especially when it came to our clientele, which is predominantly B2B. The IBC offered that platform for predominantly B2B connections. And it was refreshing for me as well as as a manager, as a budding leader, to have that type of connection. It was the first conference actually where I personally saw so much decision makers and business owners. And I must say, myself and my team, we really enjoyed the networking sessions or the B2B matching sessions. That was something brand new to the company, but the country as well. We forged, I can say, 3 strategic alliances. We met new clientele and we met existing clientele, and we strengthened our partnership, especially with the clientele that we had. And secondly, the IBC is really for companies that want to be regional players and even international players. As Dr. Durga just mentioned, 50% of the delegates, I believe, you mentioned, are from the international community. And I can attest to this, that Elgawa, yes, we are a regional company. We have locations in Guyana and Suriname. We also do work throughout the Caribbean. And this forum allows us to strengthen that tie to be a regional company. And I must say, I can speak on behalf of my colleagues who are here with me in business development and project management, that we look forward to the 3rd iteration of this event. And I know it will be bigger and much better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sultan. And now, from infrastructure to innovation, one of the most memorable outcomes from the last IBC held in Suriname in February was the launch of a completely new tourism product. Born directly from this platform, through a creative meeting of minds and culture, Evergreen Adventures launched the Dutch Heritage Tour, which celebrated shared histories across both Guyana and Suriname. Today, they are here to reflect on how IBC served as the spark, together with the Guyana Office for Investment, for this idea, and to tell us what is to come next. Please welcome Miss Andrea and Mr. Salvador for their presentation.
I'm going to give you guys these, and I'm going to ask you to take one, please, and pass them around. This is well, let's start at the beginning. It is so lovely to be here with all of you, and thank you very much for inviting us. and all protocols have been observed several times, so we're going to move right on. But we're thrilled to be here. What you're getting is a pamphlet on the Dutch Heritage Tour, which is another one of Peter's middle of the night messages. I have an idea, and it was a brilliant one. Cross-border tourism is huge. And Salvador and I work for Evergreen Adventures, which is a tour operator. We actually are the tour operator of the year this year. We just got our award. We're very excited. But Salvador knows a great deal about the Dutch history. And when we met with Ambassador Renee, and when we met with Peter, and when we started putting all the pieces together, we realized we had something really special here, something that you can't get anywhere else. And Salvador will tell you a little bit more about that and what makes it so unique and what makes it so special.
In Suriname was British first and then became Dutch. Guyana was Dutch first and then became British. So we both have very strong Dutch heritage and Dutch history. In fact, I think we have more standing infrastructure, Dutch infrastructure here, heritage, than Suriname has. But okay, we'll argue about that.
But it really was a wonderful and very exciting platform for us when we went to Suriname.
And what we found very surprising also was that people didn't know about this. People from Holland, people from Suriname didn't know about our Dutch heritage. They thought we were British, we were only English. They didn't know that we have a Fort Zeelandia in the Essequibo. We actually have another one in the Pomeroon that I'm yet to find. But yes, it's really interesting in something that is, people were very interested to come and check out and do the two Guyanas.
But we didn't create this on our own. And this is, again, the importance of this conference. We have very, very close connections and partners in Suriname, and we are their partners here. And I said this at the conference. I have said this in every possible interview that I can say it. If you try and do it all yourself, something's gonna fall through the cracks. There is no way that I can know Suriname as well as a tour operator who is there. And there is no way that they can know Guyana as well as I do here. But when you work together, you can create a package like this.
And get the best of both worlds.
Yes. And our partners in Suriname, I mean, I say this all the time, they're like family. There isn't one of them who hasn't been here to us and been to Baganara Island Resort in the Essequibo. There isn't one that we haven't experienced their properties in Suriname. And when they come to us, we treat them like family. And when we send people to them, they treat them as though they were treating us like family. Those synergies, those partnerships, that's what you get at the conference.
There's one other partnership I also want to talk about.
Yes.
It's Trans-Guyana Airways and GUM Air, which is a Surinamese airline, and the Guyanese airline have been in partnership now for 11 years.
13.
That's right, 13. 13 years. And we run flights every day from Ogle Airport, and the new airport at the conference, the new airport wasn't open. The new airport
It's open now.
in Paramaribo is open now. So you've got the Beechcraft going from here twice a day to Suriname, Georgetown to Paramaribo.
Fantastic.
Not to the big airport,
Fantastic.
not to Canary and not to Pengo.
Saves so much time. And the really interesting thing at the conference was so many people were coming over going, well, this, I really like the idea of this tour. But gosh, it's so hard to get to Guyana. And I go, what are you talking about? Well, it's such a long drive. Yeah, but it's an hour flight. You get on the plane, you get off the plane, and you're there. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. And the fact that the business community didn't know about these flights just shocked me, because how can we possibly work together like this if we can't connect? So for 13 years, we've been doing, Georgetown, Paramaribo, Georgetown, and we will continue to. 2 flights a day during the week, 1 on the weekends, and those will increase.
And since the introduction of the beach,
Yes.
we discovered today business has increased with flights and passengers 50%.
Yeah.
Since the last IBC come, which is fabulous.
Yeah, so it's very,
In
very
fact,
exciting.
People really know about it now, and it's a quick. Ogle is right there, and you're in Paramaribo. You don't have to go to the big airport.
The other thing about the conference, I've done a trade show or two in my time. So when Raul first approached me and said, you should do this, it was, why? But let me tell you something. If you're on the fence, or if any of your partners are on the fence, do it. Because the relationships that you will develop and the relationships that will continue on are going to grow your business and strengthen your business. And if you have any questions, or you want to talk to us about it afterwards, because I know you're short on time now, please don't hesitate. We're at Evergreen Adventures, and we'll be around in
We're at Ogle Airport.
and Shalomi and Shabana, raise your hands, please. Shalomi is Baganara, and Shabana will take you anywhere in either one of the countries. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, while he could not have been with us here today, we are pleased to share a recorded message from Mr. Amar Alakram Singh, the CEO of the Suriname Investment and Trade Agency.
Dear Excellencies, esteemed representatives of the government of Guyana and Suriname, members of the diplomatic corps, colleagues from SGCC, Go-Invest, and all distinguished guests, good evening. It's an honor to share these brief remarks on behalf of the Suriname Investment and Trade Agency. While I regret not being able to join you in person, I deeply appreciate the opportunity to participate virtually in the official launch of IBC in Guyana 2025. Let me begin by thanking the Suriname Guyana Chamber of Commerce for its leadership in organizing this initiative and for its continued commitment to strengthening economic ties between our two nations. CETA is serving as Suriname's national agency for investment and trade promotion. Our mandate focuses on attracting and facilitating foreign direct investment, supporting Surinamese companies to develop and export, and strengthening local content and linkages across sectors. Within that framework, regional integration, especially with Guyana, is a clear priority. The economic corridor between our two countries is increasingly active, with shared opportunities in logistics, agribusinesses, infrastructure, and services. I commend SGCC for creating a structured space where cross-border collaboration is not just discussed, but initiated. The matchmaking and dialogues hosted at IBC are aligned with CETA's efforts to improve investor outreach and export development. CETA confirms its full support for IBC 2025 in Georgetown this October. We are already working to identify Surinamese companies with capacity and interest to participate both in the exhibition and in the business-to-business tracks. We aim to ensure that Suriname's presence reflects not just its potential, but also its readiness to collaborate, to invest, and to grow alongside Guyana. The theme, Bridging Businesses for Regional Prosperity, is well chosen. It aligns closely with the regional vision both countries have been working toward, building joint ventures, streamlining trade and logistics, and creating value that benefits both of our populations. To realize this vision, we need to support platforms like IBC much more, and follow up after these events to confirm conversations and commitments. I invite all stakeholders present, public and private, local and international, to support IBC 2025, not just by attending, but by actively engaging in its programs and partnerships. CETA remains ready to work with you in the lead up to October and beyond. Let this be another milestone in our growing Suriname-Guyana partnership. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and inspiring launch event.
Thank you. Our next speaker is a key figure in Guyana's investment ecosystem and one of the earliest supporters of the IBC platform. Dr. Peter Ramsarup is the Chief Investment Officer of Guyana and the agency head of the Guyana Office for Investment under the Office of the President. From facilitating partnership to offering guidance and strategic alignment, homework, Dr. Peter Ramsarup has ensured that the government of Guyana remains actively supportive of this important platform. Please welcome Dr. Peter Ramsarup to the podium.
Thank you very much, Her Excellency and all others invited here. It's a pleasure and exciting times to be part of this upcoming event. You know, if I did have my choice, as Vishnu keeps saying, it would be considered not a conference, but a business engagement. Because ultimately, what this, over the last 3 conferences, the third one coming up, I've seen outcomes. And you hear it in the stories today. It's not just a conference, it's about the outcomes. And if we can deliver these new products to the region, then we would have made a mark in what this event is all about. But as you look across what we consider the loop, you have northern Brazil, as we know, is landlocked. They need our waters to get their products to market. They need our access. There's a whole new sector being driven in the logistics sector. Then there's Guyana and the bridging of the businesses. We physically want to bridge the 2 countries together, and congratulations on the new government. And this chambers and this type of initiatives will continue to push the policies of both governments. And we're excited about the new government, and congratulations on them coming aboard. But they will look at some of these initiatives and want to ensure that they continue. So as you continue to Suriname, then you've got French Guyana, and then the wider Caribbean. And why do I mention this? Jamaica imported $1.2 billion US worth of food from over the world, not from Guyana or Suriname or northern Brazil or the Caribbean. Trinidad imported 1.2 billion. Barbados 400 million. We are sitting on a gold mine between these 2 nations. And we've got to look at it. You know, Jamaica came into Guyana a couple of weeks ago. Grace Kennedy, as a large food processing company, wants to set up operations in Guyana. But we are sitting on, why not us? Why don't we do it? Why don't we figure out where the 2 companies or 3 companies in Guyana and Suriname, and maybe include northern Brazil and include other parts of the Caribbean, and we own this $6 to $10 billion agriculture market. So as you get to this conference, and I won't be long, as you get to this engagement, now don't just look individually at your business and what you do. If you're in the shipping, as Pretty Paul said, it is about the ports. How do we increase logistics transportation across the region? We want to get our goods to Barbados. Barbados was $400 million in investment in terms of food, but we have not even touched the cruise lines. The cruise lines are thousands and thousands of people every day. I mentioned this many times over the last couple of months. I was on a cruise over the Christmas holidays, and I asked for coconut water, 4,000 people on the ship, and the water was from Malaysia. Coconut water in nice boxes from Malaysia. That should upset all of us when we look at what we have, the quality of our coconut water, the quality of our pineapples. Why do we go on the shelf at a survival supermarket and buy Dole pineapples in a can when we could be processing those pineapples right here in Guyana? Our energy cost is coming down by 50% very soon. We're bridging the 2 countries. We're aligning as much as we can to delivering to the region the products and policies that will integrate the region. The CARICOM leaders just met over the weekend, and they agreed again to this integration, free movement of people, getting our goods, buying local. And that will be the initiative of what I hope comes out of this business engagement. So look across from just the speakers and look at where we can join forces. How could we twin these products, right? The Dutch store is brilliant. The rum initiative, brilliant. And if we join the 2 logistics sector, we join the shipping sector, we are going to be known for more than oil. Yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, Guyana and Suriname showed up on front page as the 3rd and 4th largest producers of oil in the region. We are making the mark on the international scene. Let's continue to build on it and own what is ours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsaru. As we conclude today's official launch, allow me to offer our deepest gratitude to the Embassy of the Republic of Suriname for so graciously hosting us in this warm, and I say warm, and beautiful space. Your hospitality really continues to embody the spirit of regional unity. And a very special thank you as well to the Action Invest Caribbean team for coordination and for assisting in the gray areas that nobody really talks about. And really to everyone who joined us in person and online, thank you for your engagement. As we wrap up, I invite you to join us at the refreshment stations and the bar as well, where we'll have light bites and drinks prepared to continue the networking in a more relaxed setting. And before I go, let me say this. If you leave the launch with fewer contacts than your fingers on one hand, you're probably standing too close to the bar and too far from the conversations. So really, mingle, meet, and move. And today marks the beginning of IBC 2025. And more importantly, it continues the movement to build a region, like Dr. Peter was mentioning, where businesses isn't just done, it's done together. Thank you and see you in October.
I know. We have